Hi, good morning, everybody. Today is day one of our 5-day reset, and I thought it'd be a great time to go live and talk to you about making spectacular smoothies. So our 5-day reset program includes 2 smoothies a day made with our Shaklee Life Shake, as well as some healthy snacking during the day. And so today I'm going to focus on sharing some of my tips for making great smoothies, as well as tips on getting organized. And so you can get up in the morning and get your smoothie put together really quickly and make something that's nutritious, going to give you great energy and help you through your day. So we also want to keep in mind when you're making your smoothies that you want to keep it balanced. If you're adding fruit into your smoothie, you want to make sure you don't overdo it. A good guideline for calories for your smoothie is somewhere between 300 to 400 calories, depending on whether you're looking to lose weight or just maintain your weight. And then the awesome thing about the Life Shake, and I talked about that a little bit in my last video, is that it's low glycemic. So that means that it has the right balance of protein, carbs, and fiber. And so again, when we're adding fruit into our smoothie, a half a cup is kind of a good guideline for adding enough that you're going to add some flavor, some fiber, but not overdoing the sugars or the carbs. So one of the first steps is to make sure that you're organized in the morning so you can put your smoothie together really quickly. So one thing that I've done is I put together this little bin that has my measuring cups and my measuring spoons and some extra scoops in there, so that everything's in one place. I don't have to go looking for it, and I can put things together pretty quickly. And then the other thing that I've done is organize my spices and extracts that I use a lot. And you can make a really great tasting smoothie with the Life Shake and just keep it real simple. But I like to add, some spices, some extracts to add a little more interest so I don't get bored. So I put together this little bin here with things that I commonly use so that I'm not hunting around the kitchen to find them every morning. So I've got my extracts in there: vanilla extract, lemon extract, peppermint extract. That's a real easy way to add a little extra flavor real quick. A quarter of a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon is going to spice up your smoothie, help you, have enough variety so that you don't get bored. And then, of course, I have my cinnamon in here and my pumpkin pie spice mix. And I found that just almost about any smoothie is going to benefit from a little cinnamon, and it's actually good for you too. So a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon is usually what I use. And then I am a chocolate lover, so I often add extra cocoa to my chocolate smoothies. This is Nestle's. I don't usually use Nestle's. I have another brand that I usually use, but I'm out of it right now. And it actually has better flavor than the Nestle. So stay tuned on that one. And then I have my peanut butter powder in here as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then coconut sugar. If you do want to add a little bit of sweetener, depending on what recipe you're using, and if you feel like you want a little extra sweet some morning, you can use this coconut sugar, and it's lower. It has a lower glycemic rating than regular sugar. And then what else do I have in here? I have my stevia in here, and again, this is a great way to sweeten up your smoothie a little bit without adding any sugar, really. So this is a natural sweetener. This is the liquid one. You can pick it up at just about anywhere now, but especially at the health food store. And so that's my little spice bin. And then the other, so we're going to put together just a real simple smoothie here. You know what? I'll be right back. Forgot my soy milk. So I usually use soy milk. You can also use dairy milk. The guideline on the can of the Life Shake is for non-fat milk. Again, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to be careful about calories and fat. But I usually use the soy milk. So this is a real simple smoothie that you can make with just with your shaker bottle. And if you're a coffee lover, what I do is I add a couple of scoops of the shake mix right into the shaker bottle. And sometimes I use 1 scoop of chocolate and 1 scoop of our cafe latte flavor, but I'm all out of the cafe latte, so I'll put 2 scoops of the chocolate in there. And then one of the things that I do ahead of time, these are starting to melt, but these are my little coffee ice cubes. So I'm not a big coffee drinker, but my husband drinks coffee. So what I do when he uses like this little drip thing, and a lot of times he doesn't drink all of it. So whatever's left after he's had his cup of coffee in the morning, I will throw in an ice cube tray and freeze them. And then I have little coffee ice cubes. And so you can do this in the blender, or if you don't have time to get the blender out, you can just put it in a shaker bottle like this. And you know what else I think I'll add is a little bit of extra cocoa, because as I said, I like chocolate. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon in there, but you could put in even up to a tablespoon. And if you are a coffee lover, this is going to give you that little caffeine kick in the morning. And you could add some extra ice. And this is one smoothie that really holds up well if you mix it up either like this in the shaker bottle, or if you do it the night before, even if you want to really be organized. It holds up really well, and you could add extra ice in there and drink it for lunch or later in the morning. And the other thing that I do sometimes, and that kind of leads me into my next topic about different kinds of milk, if I feel like I'm not going to have time for a morning snack, or I'm really hungry that morning, I might add in an extra scoop of the protein powder and then drink my smoothie, throughout the morning. You can also make it ahead of time and throw it in the freezer for a little while. And then, if you're going to be doing that where you're sipping on it throughout the morning, it'll stay cold, and generally they taste better when they're cold. So this is a real quick and easy smoothie you can make. And another taste combination that I really like is spinach. To make a basic green smoothie would be spinach and banana. And what I do is, as the bananas get ripe, I just throw them in the freezer whole like this. And then generally, a good guideline with banana is 1/3 to 1/2 of banana. You don't want to put a whole banana in your smoothie, because you're just adding a lot of sugar then. But banana and spinach, or pineapple and spinach, is a great taste combo. And what else do I have? We talked a little bit about the peanut butter powder. So this is getting pretty popular. You can get it now even at the main grocery stores. You don't have to go to the health food store. And this one I picked up at Costco, and the advantage of using this over regular peanut butter, or even this is the peanut butter from the health food store that doesn't have the hydrogenated fat in it. But the powder is really great because it's going to be way lower in calories and lower in fat. So 2 tablespoons of the peanut butter powder is only 40 calories. And 10 grams of fat, versus if I look at this can or jar of Skippy here, you've got 190 calories and in 2 tablespoons, which is a lot. And you've got 140 of those calories from fat. So I have switched over to use the peanut butter powder in most of my smoothies. And then occasionally I will use another nut butter, like almond butter or cashew butter. I kind of go on these kicks on different kind of nut flavors, and lately I've been on an almond kick. So sometimes I'll put regular almonds or an almond butter, but you want again to keep the calories down. So about a tablespoon of the nut butter is a good guideline. And then as far as milks go, if you can tolerate dairy and you like dairy milk, you certainly can use that. It doesn't appeal to me, and I don't digest it well anymore. So I generally use soy milk. And the guidelines on the can of the Life Shake is that you're going to be getting, I'll look at my notes here. You're going to get 16 grams of protein with the shake mix alone, 10 grams of sugar, 6 grams of fiber, and 3 grams of fat. So if you add in non-fat milk, you're going to get 24 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, and 22 grams of sugar. So the dairy milk or the soy milk is going to give you extra protein. So I know some people are using coconut milk or almond milk or rice milk in their smoothie, and that's okay, but you just want to pay attention that those other milks don't have any protein in it. So it's not going to fill you up for quite as long. So you may have to add, you could add an extra scoop of the protein powder like I talked about earlier, or you can also add, more veggies that are going to at least increase the fiber in your smoothie, as well as you could add some nut butter or some nuts that are going to add a little extra protein. But you just want to pay attention to what kind of milk you're using and how many calories it has, how many fat calories, as well as it's important how much protein it has. So what other tips do I have for you today? This morning, I'm not going to go through making this actually because I don't want to go through the noise of the blender, but pumpkin is really popular. Pumpkin smoothies are great. You can do a lot of wonderful things with pumpkin, but I found a couple of substitutes that sometimes I like even more than pumpkin, and that's butternut squash and sweet potato. So what I do with the butternut squash or the sweet potato is I puree it up ahead of time, and then again I use my little ice cube tray, and I fill the ice cube tray with my puree, and then later on I dump them out of the ice cube tray, and I have a little Ziploc bag in the freezer, and so it makes it easy to have that ahead of time ready. And then about three ice cubes would be about a half a cup. So I made this recipe the other day, sweet potato almond, and it was really good. So I'm going to make that again for one of my smoothies today. And then another thing that I found that is great for kind of thickening the smoothies, it's going to add some fiber, is oats. And you can throw the oats in there whole. I tend to like to grind them up ahead of time so that it's not quite as gritty. And this is one of the scoops from the Life Shake can, and they're around 3 tablespoons. So generally, if I'm going to put some oats in there, I use about 2 tablespoons. So I fill up the scoop about 2/3 full. I'm not like real exact in when I'm making my smoothies, but that gives you a guideline. And then for this recipe, I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And what else did I put in there? Oh, and the almonds. So this is a sweet potato almond. And so I've got, a scoop full of almonds, and that would go in there. And then add ice, a handful of ice. Some other combos that I really like, one of the things that I discovered, I don't know, sometime this year, I got this tip from a friend of mine, that avocado is great in smoothies. I don't have an avocado on hand today. That's the art of having them ripe at the right time. But usually like about a thin slice, about 1/8 of an avocado is plenty. If you put too much avocado in there, it sort of turns into a pudding. And I've actually used that to my advantage to create kind of a chocolate pudding. So maybe when I do my snack session, either tomorrow or later in the week, I'll show you what that looks like. And the avocado pairs up really well with pineapple. Avocado and pineapple, it's a hit wherever I take it. And the other thing that I like to add into that smoothie is some fresh ginger. And so you can keep a piece of ginger on hand in the freezer and then just grate it right into your smoothie. What I like to do is I grate it up ahead of time, either with a grater or potato peeler works is what I figured out, and a grater. And then sometimes I mash it up in my mortar and pestle. But I make the ginger ice cubes, just like the other ice cubes that I showed you. But this is a smaller tray. I think I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond. And so I put a little ginger in there and fill it up with water. And then I have a Ziploc bag again of the little ginger ice cubes. And this was, again, good, really good with the avocado and pineapple. But I think I'm going to throw one of them, I'm going to throw one of them in my sweet potato smoothie just because I like fresh ginger. It's very, very good for you. It's anti-inflammatory. Another thing that pairs up really well with avocado is blueberry. And in that case, I would add a little lemon zest. And so you can do the same thing that I did with the ginger, you can do with your lemon zest and keep them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. This is actually some lime zest, but to make zest, you just have a lemon or a lime and you grate off the peel. And then I have found that this is a great way to do this ahead of time, have them in the freezer, and then add one of my lemon or lime zest ice cubes into my smoothies for a little added flavor again. So just to recap, our mix alone has 16 grams of protein. If you add dairy milk or soy milk, you're going to up the protein at 24 grams. If you are using rice milk or almond milk, you may want to add a little extra protein to make sure that your smoothie is going to fill you up and sustain you for through the morning. If you're using fruit, a half a cup is a good guideline, or 3/4 cup. You don't want to get carried away, especially with fruits that are really high in sugar, like pineapple and banana. And so if you'd like more recipe ideas, send me a message. And if you'd like to follow along with our 5-day reset, we have a closed Facebook group that we're running. And I'd be happy to toss you into the closed Facebook group. I'm going to be doing a live video every day this week with different topics. And we also have a lot of documents uploaded in our closed Facebook group with all kinds of recipe tips. And there'll be links to the new Shaklee blog that has all kinds of recipes, as well as if you are a Shaklee member, log into the Member Center. And there's a 180 tab that will give you all kinds of great recipes for smoothies as well. And so tomorrow's topic is making snacking a healthy habit. And snacking has kind of a bad rap because a lot of times when we're snacking, we pick cookies or chips or something that isn't very good for us. But snacking can actually be a healthy thing. So we're going to talk about the guidelines tomorrow for a healthy snack and have some great options for you, ideas, recipes. So thanks for watching today. And again, if you'd like to join along and follow with our 5-day reset, send me a message and I'll toss you into our closed Facebook group. Thanks for watching.